There's no way we're not going to see that get pulled out at least once in this set here. But here we go, Acno on the Diana, and we've got Bamya over on the Mordex. Here we go, game number 1 over again on the small Fortress of Lions. Being a very popular map, I gotta say. Most people are liking this one platform dynamic. You know, they don't want to have too many, but at the same time, they want to have something other than the stage to land on. I completely understand it.
And there it is, the hallmark of an amazing Blasters player is the utilization of that sidelight, in my opinion. And Acno is doing that to perfection. Recovery connects as well. Just looking for those hits, looking to space out these gauntlets from Bamya. Managed to get a couple of hits, but Acno's not sweating. He feels like he's in control. Bamya looking to make that different, looking to change that maybe, but Acno misses out on the true combo. A bit too far, I think, in the D-Light pickup. Doesn't matter, he's back in it. He's looking for the KO, fighting on even ground. Disarmed now. Bamya looking for the game. Sidelight not connecting. Acno stays on the left side of him, avoids that one by a hair. He's on the bow now. Looking for an inlight, looking for anything to get him started. Bamya hanging out in the air a lot. Might get caught out by that, but no, side air is going to be his.
Yep. Oh, there's the Insig. A very mistimed one, but still there it was. Now going to disarm, and that should be an easy KO. Yes, it is. The D-Light into the recovery. True combo. Now let's see what Acno's going to prefer. Yep, it's going to be those blasters. Like I said, blasters being a very, very strong weapon right now. And I agree with what you said. Sidelight being the strongest part of the kit as far as whether you're going to succeed or not. You really need to be able to place those sidelights. Now that you can get the sidelight into side air true combo, it's really, really good to get those. Now it's going to be a side air from Bamya instead with that scythe to close out that stock. And he's going to be sticking over onto the scythe. That's understandable. He wants a little bit more range. Obviously, he needs to be more in with those gauntlets in order to get success. And he's kind of having trouble with it. So now that he's got a farther ranged weapon, he's actually starting to cook up Acno a little bit. Acno's kind of struggling to find himself a hit after the swap over to Scythe. Ground Pound is going to help out a lot.
Big there.
But there's going to be a down right there. That actually might be the stock. It is. Now it's
classic blasters. The double they are connecting, sending Bamya to the death. But you can see he's not evading. He's not giving up. He's just as aggressive as always. In contrast to Marker, he's such an active side player. He's just gonna go out and come after you. He's not gonna give you a moment of respite, and he's gonna get the KO. Cider off the side, sticking to the side, looking to build up more damage onto Acno. He is a train that he will never stop. He's gone cold for days, baby.
Oh my goodness. And right now, Acno, once again, kind of struggling to get these hits. He's able to get a nice combo there, but still, Bamya has been completely dominant right now with this scythe. Okay, Acno answering back a little bit, though. Once again, able to get some side lights, some down airs, building up the damage further and further in his favor. And that's going to be, no, dodged out of, almost a down light into the side air. And once again, he's probably be looking for a D-Light or a side light to get himself a side air or recovery, because otherwise killing on or KOing on this weapon is really, really difficult. And oh no, he disarms himself. I think he was trying to get a weapon throw to try and buffer his opponent out, but instead he's now over on the bow, which takes significantly longer to KO with unless he gets a sig. As you can see, he is throwing those sigs out. Hail Mary right now. He needs one. He's like, okay, listen, I'm going full gold mode. I don't care what you say. And there it is. It's going to be the D-Light into the recovery, the KO confirm to get this 1-0 in Acno's favor.
That was honestly quite incredible from Acno at the end. Even though it didn't really seem like much was happening. He just kept getting hit after hit after hit. Like, it didn't feel like he was that dominant, but the damage spoke for itself. And that bow at the end, you said it himself. You said it yourself. He started throwing out those sigs, but that's because he can afford to. That's because those that D6 specifically on Diana is so damn fast. It's so hard to punish. He can't sort of just afford to throw it out as a threat, as a don't get into my space type of move.
Yep, that is very true. And he's definitely good at throwing up these walls, you know, with these blasters. That's kind of how I compare blasters to oftentimes. It's kind of like a brick wall. They're able to throw out these side lights, which perfectly space you out. And if you're in that range, you just have nowhere you can go. As you can see, Acno throwing out these side lights pretty much everywhere, trying out to space out his opponents. The down air's not working too much at the moment. He's also throwing those out quite often. And now Bamya is taking advantage, able to get himself on stage. But that was a nice side air to try and reverse that situation there. Acno, his blasters, I gotta say, they've really been working out well for him.
Not well enough, though, as Bamya on the gauntlets looking to fight back. Acno daring him to approach him once again with a D6. Bamya not gonna take the bait, just gonna keep it slow, keep it cool, keep it chill. and just make sure to get this KO in a reasonable fashion. No, he's not! D-Sig pulls him off! The downer not gonna connect, but he's in such danger. N-Sig, G-Seed not connecting, but now Acno has a fighting chance. Bamya's scared, man. Now he's sweating. He's on his toes, and he's looking for the end light, finally connecting, but just barely.
That really showcased the power of that D-Sig right there, because he was like in orange, not even dark orange, just regular orange, and that almost KO'd. So really, that is why people are so scared of these Diana Sigs. They have so much force to them. You cannot get caught. It is a game over if you are. So Acno now over onto the blasters. You know, it's been kind of his game plan so far, able to get a nice nair into recovery right there to build up some more damage. And bamya actually struggling to touch down to the ground, able to right there, but the damage has already been built. But oh, that's a good string right there, 4-piece. Acno hitting himself out of it with that side air. And very nice to space out his opponent even when he's on the aggression. bamya's dancing around, trying to get himself an opening. Able to right there, keeping himself anchored to the ground and not hit by these sidelights or down airs.
Is finding the slowdown, fighting the pacing to throw Acno off. Sider gonna get punished, and it's off the side again that we go. Acno looking for the edge guard, but he's not gonna touch the wall. It's gonna be a bit of a slip up, letting bamya gun back, giving him a chance. But the D-Light into recovery is just so consistent. No Blasters main will ever miss that. It's ingrained into our blood, ingrained into our muscle memory. Our nervous system cannot hit D-Light without knowing to go for that recovery. And he is building up the damage once again. That D-Light finally disarms him.
Oh, okay. Able to find his way back on stage. Acno is hanging on to the second stock, but that should... No, that's actually going to find a way back on. And bamya able to get the D-Light, but unfortunately not able to get a ground pound into it. The recovery is all he could go for, but that's not going to KO. But the Gauntlet's Inlight will instead. And even though he's got some damage built up onto him, I do believe he can make this back. He is going to decide over onto the Scythe. I think that's a good choice. He's got to keep him off the weapon. Oh, nope, Acno able to get his blasters. And now it's really a game of who can keep, can Acno keep bamya off of him? That's exactly what's going to grant bamya the win, is if he can get into Acno's space and get past that brick wall of blasters. But still, every little bit of damage that Acno gets is exponentially better in his favor than bamya. So bamya, he's really got to build this damage fast if he wants a chance of taking this.
Yep, for one, the damage numbers are just not in bamya's favor. That Scythe not as hard hitting as the Blasters, and he's just not getting as many hits either. He needs a read. He needs something big here. 2-piece not gonna get anything else off of that. No dodge read to be found, and the side sig is getting punished. Acno off the side again, just goes for the end sig, calls him out, knows you're not gonna dodge. You think you're gonna go for the combo, but no, I'm gonna end sig you and I'm gonna take the stock right here, right now, 2-0 lead.
Exactly, and we're gonna see no swaps here. I think bamya is kind of just locked in on his way of thinking. Is like, listen, if I'm gonna win this, it's got to be through a big side combo, big gauntlets combo. Otherwise, Acno's just been running me over. So I respect not switching or anything. He's got his game plan down. But may I remind you, this is the lower bracket. So if bamya loses this game or any other game in this set, it is going to be him going down out of this tournament. So he's gonna be fighting for his life here. Let's see what he can do.
Elimination on the line. Bamya starting off slow again. Bow in the hands of Acno. Scythe gets a read finally, but no jump read to be found. 50-50 goes the way of Acno, and he gets a nair for it as well. Bamya looking for those downers, looking for a gimp or something to bring the momentum over to his side, but Acno is just unrelenting, trading hit per hit per hit. Ground pound not gonna connect, and Bamya punishes. Looking for the finisher, gets the nice sidelight. Sider not gonna connect, but Acno overextends himself, stretches his resources too thin, and he cannot get back to the wall. Bamya finally with a lead in the set.
He must have been listening to the stream and heard me say that, because look at that, he got the read right there, and that's going to be huge damage for bamya, basically lapping Acno in damage on the second stock. Now Acno able to pick up the blasters, but still the damage has been done, and he's going to have to fight his way back. Right now, bamya taking him off stage with these nairs and down airs. Acno saving himself with the recovery, but it's... Ooh, really close with that side sig, though the down light into the recovery is going to take that stock. Bamya, his momentum's been getting larger and larger. Can Acno snuff it out? I'm not sure. This might actually be a game in bamya's favor, but still, he can bring it back if he can. Let's see.
It's such a dangerous balancing act here for bamya. He knows that he's got the lead. He knows that he has to push his advantage, but he cannot afford to overextend himself. He cannot afford to give Acno a chance back into this game. He cannot afford to go down 3-0, go down without fighting. back for this. Acno recovery, gonna get punished finally, out of options, out of movement. And that's gonna be last stock for him in this game. Bamya, can you close it out? Can you stay strong here? Can you stay solid? Show a dominant game for once in your favor.
Yep, and he's going to do it on the scythe. You know, I think that's definitely the best idea for him. Right now, he's trying to penetrate that wall again, but it's kind of not working right now. Bamya, once again, I've noticed that he gets these inlay openers or sidelight openers, and he'll dash back. Oh my goodness, that recovery KO so early. The risk of that move still, yeah, high risk, high reward. That was just devastating. Bamya basically gets his entire lead ripped out of his hands right there, and now he's got to make a regular game comeback right now. He's now on the gauntlets, definitely not his preferred weapon, but let's see what he can do. Acno gets himself a down air, now over on the platform to try and keep his opponent lower than him. There it is, the D-light into the side air, building up more damage. Bamya starting to get faster or quicker into the KO percentage. Oh no!
Not again!
KO, it is! Oh my goodness, 3-0 for Acno.